Good afternoon. Have a seat. My name's Rich. I'm going to be your therapist here for the foreseeable future. I'm going to see if we can figure out ways to combat the problems you've been having. I know you saw a nurse practitioner already, and it says here that you've been put on 20 milligrams Prozac. Is that right? Yes. And that's been going on for 2 weeks. I know, like, once you come in for your initial evaluation, you then see the nurse practitioner, and then it could take a little bit of time. Luckily, we were able to get you to see me, any therapist, but you were assigned to me, and I've got your stuff here so far. Everything that was you filled out in your initial session with Dawn is in here as well. And so this initial session, I would like to just go over, the things that have been bothering you, how long, and just to get to know each other and whatnot. I'd like to get to know you, to start this off. Like I said, my name's Rich, and there's your name there. Good to meet you. Alright, so it says here that you originally called because you suffer from anxiety, fear of confrontation, what else we got here? Lacking confidence, social phobias, which you gave some examples here. As you have trouble just even going to the doctor will be a big deal for you. You'll make it into something bigger than it should be. Okay. Put that down for now, and we'll get started. So, like I said, I'd like to just to get to know you. I come across a lot of people that have similar issues to you. Myself, I'll admit, I've gotten past some things myself in the past, so I do have a little bit of experience with that. All right. So, like you said, how long do you think? Like, can you pinpoint? I should say, a specific time you may have started to suffer the panic, the anxiety, the phobia, the social phobia, and wanting to do things, fear of confrontation. Is there like a specific time you can think of? Okay, so you were 8 years old when that happened. It can be traumatizing when a parent suffers from alcoholism. It can be an issue, and especially when you're that young, you don't really know what's happening. But was your father distant? Was he ever physical, any physical abuse or mental abuse or anything like that? No? Okay, that's good. So he had a drinking problem, obviously, and I assume they divorced? Yes. And that was the last straw. He came home, and right, okay. Well, if you'd like, you can tell me that story of how things really came to a head, if you'd like. I'm here to listen. Okay, so would this happen a lot? No, so they kept this from you. It wasn't too exposed really, but it was going on obviously. But this moment was the one that really obviously took it over the edge. Okay, so that must have been hard. You said he came home drunk and was causing problems for you and your mother and your grandmother as well, and got a bit violent. He said with the window and stuff, and threw a lamp, and it could be very traumatizing for some of that. Okay. All right. So your mother was able to calm him down. Well, that's good. She kept her cool in the situation. So, and after that, it was the end of the marriage. Okay. So did you see your father after? Did you hold any resentment towards him? No. So you understood, even at that age. That's quite impressive to be able to understand that, hey, maybe this isn't meant to be for them, and don't stick, with something just for the sake of sticking with it, because it could get even more toxic and become even more of a problem. So going forward, he moves out, and you said that you did see him every weekend for a while, up until about ninth grade. And then, you hit your teenager years, and you kind of get a little more distant, and since he didn't live with you, you're not going to see him more. You're going to find things to do on the weekends and stuff, that are more fun, I guess, than hanging out with a parent. Okay. So you think maybe that started it, but you were surrounded by a good support system of your mother, your grandmother, and your aunt as well, which is good. And you still, that maybe could have triggered things subconsciously in you that have lasted even up until today. I've seen this a few times, children of alcoholics. Like a lot of times you may not even notice it, and then all of a sudden these things manifest and they become who you are, and you don't even understand that maybe that's how it was triggered, because you never really looked into a reason for it. Okay. Well, that's good. It's a good start. Now, how was like your elementary school and stuff like that go? After that, how did things go? Okay, so you really you enjoyed elementary school. It was actually your favorite time of schooling. Yeah. It is a fun time, elementary school. It's good. All right. So your first panic attack then came in 8th grade. But you didn't know what it was. You said you had social phobias, and it also said school phobias. You had a problem going to school. It says in there, you just felt everybody was looking at you. You got very paranoid. You just, like, if you missed a few days from being sick, you didn't want to go back because you thought everybody would be paying attention to you, even though you knew that was completely, not true. It was still in your mind. Now, it says that you said that you had you stopped going in 8th grade for a good portion, but you ended up going back. They threatened juvenile hall and whatnot, and you ended up going back and finishing the year, which is good. And then about 3 months into 9th grade, it came up again. And then this time you went and actually lived with your father for a little bit because they threatened the same thing. So this time you went there, and then you stopped going there as well. So the pattern was still there. You started to go, and then slowly you stopped. Like it says in here, it seeped in. Now I'd like you to just tell me, like, when you feel this feeling seep in, what does it feel like? Okay. Okay, so you say sometimes it will just come on, like you can just be lying in bed and you'll get a feeling of dread or panic, and sometimes it will, it will slowly build up, but you start to get negative thoughts, and then your negative thinking leads it to go into a panic. Okay. All right, so 9th grade you go live with him, the same thing happens. You go to see someone, you said in here, at the school, and then you were put into the alternative program through 10th, 11th, and 12th, and everything's fine. You still have the feelings in these situations, but when it comes to school, you're in a more comfortable setting. All right. Okay. All right. Well, that's a good start there, which is good. So it started then, and you had the problems, and were there any, like, I want to get into these feelings here as well, real quickly. It says the feeling, you feel like an emptiness, or like you're going to just kind of float away or fall into nothing, like you want something to hold on to, because you feel like a ghost, as you put it. this is something I've heard one other time before. Now this feeling, it doesn't sound pleasant. Can you tell me, try to at least attempt to try to tell me how that feels? Okay, so it comes on just out of nowhere, and all of a sudden you'll like feel like you're gonna fall into nothing. You said that one night where you first really encountered this feeling, you were coming home from a friend's house down the block, and out of nowhere, boom, just like that, you just felt like you froze up, and you just felt like you were gonna just, vanish into the ether, and you just wanted to get home. And you said you will occasionally put on more clothing just to feel like more whole. Okay. Now, we call this disassociation or depersonalization. It's almost like an out-of-body experience. You feel, you're feeling this, and like almost like you're looking down on yourself, or you almost feel like your mind is like becoming, like almost like a spirit, like your spirit's leaving your body, type thing. That's what we call like disassociation. Just not feeling like oneself, or feel like a feeling of outside your body, like an out-of-body experience. But it's not a pleasant feeling, I can imagine. Okay. And you get those frequently? They haven't happened for a while, but if they come, they'll last from either maybe a few minutes to even you've had this like kind of feeling for like a week, 2 weeks, and it kind of just disappears. Okay. Just write this down. All right. The Prozac should help at least lower the anxiety a little bit. They start off the 20. You'll see how you react to that. It will take like 2 weeks for it to start to do its thing. It's a good one. It's good that you're not getting on the heavier stuff right away, and that's a good thing because you'd like to try to be able to talk your way through it, or take the not as intense drugs. Now, sorry, excuse me. So, you said you never, you went to a psychiatrist back in 9th grade because of the school thing, and then you went again in 12th. And since then you have not? 99 was the last time. Right, so it's been a while. Is there any particular reason for that, or? Yeah, you just felt like you've had enough of that person. That's fine. And you tend to put yourself into positions that make you comfortable, which, it's completely fine. Everybody wants to be comfortable, right? Yeah, I mean, what I want to try to do here, especially in these individual sessions, is get you to really figure out how this could have triggered and try to go from negative thinking into positive thinking. When you feel something come up, and this is easier said than done. This is the first session. This will take time. But nip these things in the bud before they get big. We'll go through routines and things you can do. Sometimes just the way you eat and drink could affect anxiety and habits as well. I'd like to do a little empty chair therapy where you just talk to an empty chair, and then you switch sides and you talk from both angles to try to get like a feeling of both sides. Try to interact with both. And you've said here, like even just making a phone call to make a doctor's appointment could be, a big deal. It's like, so you're thinking, oh my God, like why can't I just, you said like why can't I just be able to do this like everybody else does it? Why can't I? I can assure you, you're not even close to the only person that suffers from these kind of things. The mind is a powerful tool, for good or bad. real quickly a book I'd like you to check out if you want. Don't go nuts yet, but it's the social phobias and social phobias and anxiety workbook, 6th edition. There you go. Something if you come across it, or maybe you can even look up some of it online. It's got a lot of good stuff in there. I have one myself, but it's got a bunch of good things in there. Just something to look over. Don't go crazy about it. But it also, maybe further on, do a couple group sessions with maybe like 2 or 3 other people that suffer the same thing, just to get an idea. But that's if you're comfortable with that. I don't want to thrust you into something you don't feel comfortable with. All right. So, all right, that's, that stuff's out of the way. Are you in a relationship right now? Oh, good. Nice, 3 years, good. Do you feel your anxiety and stuff get in the way of it, or cause any issues with that? Yeah, sometimes it will cause, because it's fine, because you feel like you can't move forward because you're held back by this, and then you get into arguments, with your significant other, and it becomes an issue. Well, you're doing this for them, part of the reasons you're doing it for them, you want to, better yourself and just get over this feeling, which is always a good thing, obviously. Just want to talk about it. And you live with grandmother and aunt, all right. Okay, your mother's in Florida, and your father is in Nassau County still. All right, that's good. Okay. Yeah, your girlfriend has helped you take steps towards, doing things. That's good. Now, she's opened you up a little bit, taking trips. Where have you been? Oh, Salem, nice. Mystic Seaport. Hey, you went down to Florida to see your mother. Yeah, it says in the thing it's been a while. That's good then. Maybe we could talk about that next week, but that's a good thing. And you were able to get on the plane, really. You said you hadn't been on a plane for 20 years. That is a while. Right, so like I said, it's not a quick process, these things, and I want them to understand that as well. It's not something that just, it's gone. If it was that easy, we'd all just switch personalities whenever we felt like it, right? This will be a weekly thing here. It says they want to do it once a week. This is Monday today. Is Monday a good day, or was there another day that's better for you? Wednesdays are actually your best day? Yeah, I can... Let me just look real quick. Yes, anything like I'm my first session. I do have a session at 9. 10 on those days. But the afternoon is free. Afternoon, early evening is free. Is there any time that's good for you? 2. Yes, 2 is here. Okay. So I have you down for that, which is good. Like I said, this session won't be as long as the other the ones going forward, because you just want to get to know you. It says you didn't drive in there as well, so you're active at least with the walking and stuff, which is good. Walking is a good way to clear your mind. Yeah, that's what you do. You'll take long walks at night. Yeah, I take walks too sometimes. It's you go out and walk for like a good hour or two. It really kind of refreshes your body and mind. But like I said, we'll further we'll discuss these things going forward. Talk more about your relationship with both parents, more so when you were younger than now, obviously, because you have more of a relationship with your grandmother now. So you're living with with them for a while. You know, and I want you to just, you know, if you could, because you said, you know, even basic things will really cause anxiety, like making a phone call for a doctor or, you know, going to the post office, things like that. I'd like for you, if you could, you know, if you have a computer, a laptop, just make up a little thing in the notepad section or whatever. And just anytime you are going to do something, you said you like to go to garage sales as well, a lot. Anytime you're there, or any of these things, and you feel the anxiety creeping up, or anything, just, I want you to, you know, remember that, and go into, just write down, type down how long it lasted, maybe some things you can do, like positive thinking, things like that to combat it, and just like how long for it to go away, how long it lasts, how it kind of creeps up, or the intensity of it as well. But I'd like you to, you know, do that if you can, you know, like I said, anything, you know, because you said you have problems with even simple things, but if you're making a phone call, just, you know, I want you to really document how it feels. If you didn't feel anything, it was easy and whatnot. Because it's a good way to keep track, and for me as well, and for you to see, you know, if there's improvement over time with simple things like that. Because you get past the smaller things first, you move up into the bigger stuff, and, you know, that's when it can become very tough. But that's not for a little while. I don't want you to get nervous or anything. Is there anything else you're interested in talking about at this moment? Yeah. Well, you said you didn't drink really, or you don't smoke, which is obviously good. And you don't drink often, maybe once or twice a month, which is fine. So that's good that you didn't, you know, inherit, you know, sometimes, you know, children of alcoholics will, you know, inherit some of those traits. Hey, Dad was an angry drunk, you're a happy drunk. Well, that's good, right? Yeah, that's, you know, that's perfectly fine. You know, I want you to come here, you know, I'm not going to try to force anything out of you. I want you to take it at your own pace. Do it that way, and, you know, just go from there. And, you know, and hopefully see improvement over time. We'll, like I said, we'll talk about techniques. Or, you know, we'll talk about, you know, we'll see. We need to see how the Prozac also works as well, because we may have to switch dosages or whatnot. You should look into, real quickly, do you drink a lot of soda? From time to time you will drink a bunch, and then you won't drink any for a while. Well, sometimes like a lot of sugar or caffeine can cause issues with anxiety, as crazy as that sounds. We can discuss that as well. Sometimes like a diet will, you know, also help greatly. But yeah, okay, so we're going to do Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Alright, though, that's good. And very nice meeting you. It was good to get to know you a little bit. I hope this can help, you know, after maybe like 5 or 6 sessions. I want you to give feedback of how I'm doing with you and stuff, because if, you know, if you're not responding to me, you can see somebody else, you know, it's perfectly fine. Sometimes, you know, certain therapists work better with a certain patient and whatnot. So, next week I'd like to do some, you know, maybe do some open chair kind of therapy, talk to the open chair and then switch sides, you know, come from both angles. A little bit of a role play, I guess. And we'll do that. And we'll also talk more, I want to talk more about your growing up. Like I said, this is just a little basic thing here, early on, get the early stuff, but I'd like to talk about that. But yeah, for now, that should be good. I hope you enjoy your day. I know it's been raining out. It kind of sucks. Yeah, you got your umbrella there. You took the train here, good. Yeah, it's not that far from the station, the building, which is good. Occasionally, if, you know, I'm just not in the mood, or, you know, like something's wrong with my car, I'll just pop on the train, because I live right near the train station myself. So, come down, makes it easy. But yeah, like I said, try to keep a chart of that. If you do anything, are you going to some garage sales this weekend? Great. You know, like I said, if you had any issues or anything, or even if you felt great during it, just try to log all that stuff down. All right? Well, it was excellent to meet you. And I can't wait to see you next week, and I hope everything goes well with everything, and I hope this is the start of, you getting out of all these funks and getting past all this on to greater things. All right, so enjoy your day. Bye.